Another question from PJ Reyes. If you were a Muslim and the Muslim community did not support the RH bill, would you still do the same
I can't
thing?
answer. I'm not a Muslim.
Okay.
This is the thing they always bring in. They try to bring in. They've been trying to bring in all these. This is another. What if you did this to another religion? Then it's not my position to go in there because I'm not part of that church. I am part of the Catholic Church, and I have every right to stand up and say what I think about what I've been brought up with.
Why do you support? Why you were one of the major advocates of the RH bill before it turned into law. Why do you believe it's necessary?
I'm sorry, it is the magic bullet. It is the only thing perhaps that our society has never addressed, reproductive rights. We tried everything. We tried liberalizing the economy, they tried liberalizing this, we tried doing this, doing that, but we totally forgot about giving people the freedom to plan their own families, especially women. And it created and aggravated a situation where supply and demand has now been thrown into the situation. And since this is the national situation and condition, being a tour guide and doing my performances on the streets of Manila, it was impossible for me to put smiley faces for foreigners on why there are so many poor pregnant women, why there are so many street children, and why there's just so much abject poverty around us that apparently nobody else can see but somebody else who's not from here. And so by doing that, that's when I started giving out condoms on my tours to all of the poor people who were walking by me. It was my way to address something that they always wanted.
Right.
But also in the eyes of a tourist, show that there are Filipinos who are trying to do something about it and can see it by giving away these condoms.
And now that the RH bill is a law, what do you think that means for Filipinos?
It now means that we've turned a corner. We've really turned a corner. Well, they haven't had yet economically, but now we have a chance to hope again. Now we have a chance to know that whatever our work and our hard work is going to be for, our gains will not be diminished by too many people fighting for the same resources.
Scarce resources. Yeah, supply and demand. You're right.
And it shows that we basically have shackled our theocracy while still maintaining our veneration for an institution.
Interesting. Shackled our theocracy while maintaining our veneration.
Yeah.
This new generation, the generation that's growing up on social media, how does this generation look at the church today?
I think they look at it in a more nuanced eye than we did. That's for sure. I mean, that's absolutely for sure. Just from the media that's out there available on international media, on the internet. I mean, back then, before social media came along, I'm sure you remember, Reset.
Yes,
information only came one way, and that's what they spoke to you, and you couldn't speak back.
The pulpit, right?
The pulpit, whether that pulpit be ABS-CBN News, whether that pulpit be like a CBS, ABC, or the Catholic Church. One way. Now, I would think it's kind of more like a bubbling soup, where things come to the surface and not, and things actually, go back down. But whatever it is, it's now become, the voices have become multi-sectoral. And that is what has shackled, has gotten rid of the shackles that held us back before.
Right. Fantastic. Royce Arellano at Royce Arellano is asking, where did you get your strength from? You're so brave. When did you start? Are you just against the Catholic Church?
I don't think I'm brave. But whatever it is, perhaps I got the gumption from having background in theater. Whatever you gotta do, you're in media, we gotta get over our stage fright.
Yeah.
And so basically I just got over my stage fright and I decided to do that.
Interesting. This one is an interesting one from at Lelouch Revolt, the Youth Revolt. Last election, you did not support Pinoy. What is your assessment of his administration and his passing of the RH?
I said this already. I'm a fan now. Okay, you can be...
Really?
Well, just ask me. I'm sure there's a lot of work to be done. But passing of the RH bill was really something I wasn't expecting from the guy. Right. And his stance on China is also something I wasn't expecting so much.
He did it very gradually, because I was also
very gradually. I still do believe that, the symbolic being part of the symbolic oligarchy of the Philippines, which is my basic, we have to stop perpetuating these dynasties and whatever, which is my only issue, my main issue.
Right.
And sort of like being amenable for the sins of his mother and how our constitution, everything was damaged by her presidency. I think he's doing a very good job of rectifying the mistakes of the mother.
Yes.
And I think he's listening to the people. And you know what? I think actually social media he's got a very savvy team that actually is online and listening to the multi-sectoral voices. So I would say, there's no way, there's nothing that I'm going to say anywhere now that's going to want me to tear him down.
Interesting. Now, so you are actually Catholic. Someone here again asked, do you believe in the teachings of the Catholic Church? This is from at Ron's his. He said he does. Where do you draw the line between God, your God, and the public actions of policy that you were advocating here? Because you were really taking a position that was looking at the economics of the country and at the same time was going against the teachings of the Catholic Church or what the Church asked you to do.
It's not really teachings of the Catholic Church that tell you to use logic and reason and the gift that the universe gave you for that. I mean, it's logic, it's common sense. Whether you want to call God a he or a she, something out there gave us this gift of knowing the difference between right and what is wrong in this world. And that is where I draw that decision and power from. Not by being coerced by some big flying spaghetti monster in the sky who's going to threaten to make me burn.
Well, the Church took a very strong position and lost. How would you describe it today, and how do you see it evolving in the future?
I think the voices of the people will be much stronger. I mean, soon enough, things will fade, I really believe that time is the biggest healer of all wounds, you know. And I think eventually the Catholic Church will find the strength to find a position in the society that will suit them. Right now, I really think that they're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. They're trying as hard as they can to be completely relevant when it's not up to them to choose how to be relevant. It's up to us to make them relevant. And I think pretty much once everything settles, we'll find some common ground.
Fantastic. Last question. There's several questions on social media. Please continue tweeting your questions. Carlos is on Twitter at Carlos Celdran as well, and you can use the hashtag #TalkThursday. From @RayBakar, are you willing to do another Damaso act inside the church?
Never again. Well, I say, hey, you can't. It's condemned. We got to prepare, guys. We got to prepare that church. It's a beautiful landmark, but we need more than 250 million pesos to stop it from crumbling on itself.
Okay.
So A, I can't do it there, but B, I will not do it because the law has passed.
Yes.
And if there's anything else that I want moved, I would just have to do something that is more associated. I mean, why am I going to call Damaso when I'm trying to fight for white slavery? I mean, there's no real sort of connection between
anywhere.
the two.
Yes, yes.
I'm not going to fight an anti-littering campaign by breaking out Rizal. I mean,
right.
I will do what is appropriate when the time comes.
It's an exciting time, a time of change. Last words.
Last words to
yeah.
Okay.
So I guess
cool.
in terms of, you want to take a look? Are there any questions you want to pick up? Again, there's another one. Is there part of the approved RH bill that you are against? Or do you agree with the entire section?
I agree with the entire thing completely and absolutely. It is not a watered down bill at all. Okay. Should there be a ban on political endorsements via the pulpit? That sounds like a great idea. Mama, what do you think? And that was asked by Joanna Poblete. Okay. Let's see, one last question. Are you avoiding penalties or are you just being a plain brat? By some person named Yamato Kira.
Interesting.
Sometimes being bratty can work. So yeah, I'm a brat.
Well, you've actually always been out there. I mean, you say what you think.
Yeah, well, actually, no, thank you, social media, for actually giving me a forum where actually I can say something no matter how useless that statement may be. But whatever it is, I mean, like everybody now that social media is around, it's a wonderful platform for everybody to create a community. I believe that there are two Philippines. A Philippines that is online that actually can seize the dreams and better and what can be fixed. And I think there's a Philippines that exists in the real world somewhere out there that's absolutely flawed. So let's consolidate this dream that we can online and try to bring it into our real lives. And that's what I kind of hope for the future for everybody who's watching today. That your activism will go beyond you right now in your pajamas, eating that McDonald's right on your table as we speak. And you have crumbs on your laptop right now, trying to find a way to get that activism out of your head and into the real world.
Fantastic. Power structures changing. Yeah. It's a great time. Thank you so much, Carlos, for joining us. We've been speaking with Carlos Celdran, tour guide, activist, the man who speaks his mind, now facing a jail sentence. We'll keep you. Please tweet. Tweet him your questions at Carlos Celdran. Use hashtag #TalkThursday, or you can post on Facebook. Carlos can answer them. I'm Maria Ressa. Thank you for joining us on Talk Thursday.